Supporters of the Teranga Lions of Senegal showed up in Dakar for a heroic welcome after the Afcon final loss. The 2019 Africa Cup of Nations with 24 teams makes more than $80 million in profit, according to CAF reports. And then a series of transfer news and friendlies around the world as most European leagues finalize preparations. We shall be looking at some of the results as well as updates. Thanks for honoring our invitation on Africanews. Football Planet starts right now. Welcome to Football Planet. After the Teranga Lions of Senegal failed to prevail in another finals of the Africa Cup of Nations, the team still received a warm welcome with their silver medal in Dakar. Senegalese still believe in the current squad as they have shown lots of progress over the years. Now remember, in 2017 they crashed out of the tournament at the quarterfinal stage and made further strides to play this year's finals. And why not, hopefully, they can win the 2021 edition if we have to go by the progress rate. The president, alongside millions of fans, showed their belief in the team.
The Senegalese national team received a resounding welcome on arrival in Dakar the day after the African Cup of Nations final was lost to Algeria. It took the Teranga Lions more than 4 hours to complete the 15-kilometer journey from Le Port Senegal Airport to reach the Palais de la République.
It takes a triumphal welcome like this to prepare them psychologically to continue on this pace, because the next rendezvous is in 2 years.
Present at the ceremony, Senegalese President Macky Sall praised the selflessness of Aliou Cissé's men.
Tout au long de la CAN 2019 de football,
throughout this edition of the Africa Cup of Nations 2019, you made us dream, you gave us happiness, you made us to remember our ancestral values of combativeness and solidarity.
Nos valeurs ancestrales de combativité, de solidarité.
This is the second time in the history of Senegal, the first African nation, the FIFA ranking, to play and lose an African Cup of Nations final. In 2002 in Mali, coach Aliou Cissé was the captain of the team, defeated by Cameroonian squad including Samuel Eto'o and Patrice Mboma.
Now, Wahani was in Egypt and he lived the moment not just as a reporter, but also as a Senegalese. Thanks for making it to Football Planet after a hectic field work. Now, what's your general impression about the competition as a reporter? Remember, Egypt had just 6 months to produce what they actually produced.
Well, with everything that has happened before, as you just reminded us, 6 months to prepare for the African Cup of Nations. It's not easy, so it was a very good African Cup of Nations. Personally, I was one of the skeptics, but was surprised, especially by the quality offered by some teams, especially Madagascar, which, in my opinion, will have presented the most beautiful football with Algeria, which was finally crowned African champion ahead of Senegal. There are also teams like Benin. The little downside just in terms of mobilization, but that's understandable because for security reasons, the country didn't want to take certain risks. Even in terms of journalistic work, it was a little complicated. For example, it was difficult to file reports outside the stadia, and that's it. But considering all that, we can still say that it was a pretty successful African Cup of Nations.
All right. Now, in all fairness, did you actually see Senegal winning against Algeria? If we weigh both teams on the scale, that is to say, looking at their road to the finals, did you actually see Senegal winning against Algeria?
Of course, but in the final, the team that plays best does not always win. Senegal showed it was in the final. Algeria probably played the worst of this match from a performance point of view, as Senegal dominated the games. But like the finals, it was often about details. Algeria was able to win by 1-0. But we must admit that Algeria is a great champion because you look at the figures from start to finish. It is probably the team with Madagascar, as I said earlier, that presented the most beautiful football, the most prolific and best defense. So they did not necessarily steal the victory in the final.
All right. Thanks a lot and hope you catch some rest.
You're welcome.
Okay. Amidst fears of insecurity and overloaded competition, surprisingly, CAF says the competition in Egypt paid off more financially. Algeria gets $4.5 million plus bragging rights for winning this year's Afcon, while Senegal backs $2.5 million. Let's get more details in the following report.
The 2019 Africa Cup of Nations recorded $83 million in revenues, up from $67 million in 2017. CAF President Ahmad made the announcement during the 41st CAF Ordinary General Assembly, which took place in Cairo on July 18th. The football administrator equally lauded host Egypt's efforts in earning such success. Ahmad explains that CAF granted $25 million in bonuses to various national teams which took part in the 32nd tournament, which wrapped off on July 19th. 2019 champions Algeria earned a bonus of $4.5 million. While finalists Senegal back home the sum of $2.5 million, Nigeria and Tunisia, who finished third and fourth respectively, will each receive $2 million. $800 million will go to each team that played quarterfinals, while those who qualified for the 8th final will receive $600,000 each. The challenge is for the money to actually go to footballers and speed up the development of African football. Some pundits say this could account for FIFA's unprecedented involvement in the current management of African football.
Another shocking news from the continent is the retiring of the 2019 Afcon top scorer, Odion Ighalo from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The player broke the news on his Instagram page, while many have questioned the reason why a 30-year-old informed striker will quit at this point of his career. 15 goals in 34 appearances means the Super Eagles are sure of at least a goal in every game played by the striker. The player has been long criticized by some Nigerians for missing scoring chances, and that could be a reason for him throwing in the towel. This is one of the most difficult career decisions I have had to make. It's been an amazing 5-year journey, but after due consultation and extensive discussion with my family, I have decided it's time for me to retire from the national team. Still on the spillovers of the Afcon 2019, Hervé Renard, who won the competition in 2012 and 2015, announced his resignation from the Moroccan national team. Morocco crashed out of the round of 16, surprisingly, after recording a 100% group phase. He spent just over 40 months at the helm of the team. We equally have an exclusive interview with the Vice President of the Moroccan Football Association. Take a listen.
With a lot of bitterness. We did not expect that. I didn't expect that from everyone. We expected to be in the semi-finals at least. We thought we had the team. I would say that there was maturity in the team that made us feel that things were really moving forward. Now it's football, and as you can imagine, anything can happen. Today, at the level of the Moroccan Football Federation, we're not saying that it is just luck. We're saying there are necessary reasons that are objective in relation to what happened. So we'll take the time to analyze and to reflect, and there will be the time to decide. I sincerely congratulate our Egyptian friends on the quality of the organization. You know, it was 24 teams. It's a first in June, and there were a lot of firsts. A first time for 24 teams, first time in June. They had 4 months, 5 months to prepare that. You know, I have experience at this level. I was deputy president of the organizing committee of CAN 2018 in Morocco, Casablanca, Marrakesh, Tangier and Agadir, and indeed there too, I did not have much time. I had maybe a month and a half, 2 months, but there were 16 teams, and I know very well what was happening. We no longer have a life. It's very difficult. We live at the rhythm of the games. We live at the rhythm of the preparations, and when it starts, we just wait for the moment when it will end to breathe. I think they really deserve to breathe. Because they had a great competition, a very great competition, at a very good level.
Ils ont maintenu le rythme malgré la sortie de leur équipe, malgré la sortie du pays organisateur.
Arsenal Football Club of London beat Bayern of Munich 2-1 when both teams met in Los Angeles in their pre-season tour, and the team is expected to play against Real Madrid and Olympique Lyonnais before the season kicks off on August 10th. Chelsea, under new manager Frank Lampard, will face FC Barcelona on July 23rd before playing Reading and Salzburg. It is not so great for Champions League winners Liverpool, who have lost 2 of their last 2 friendlies, 3-2 to Borussia Dortmund and 2-1 to Sevilla, as they prepare to take on Premier League champions Manchester City in the Community Shield match, which will come up on August 4th in Wembley. Pep Guardiola's Man City is in Asia for their pre-season tour, where they lost in the finals of the PL Asia Trophy to Wolverhampton Wanderers on penalties. Manchester United beat Inter Milan 1-0 in Singapore after the team turned down a big offer for Lukaku from their opponents of the day. Tottenham beat Juventus in a thrilling Asia Tour match 3-2 as Cristiano Ronaldo was up against Harry Kane. Kane scored a much-talked-about goal from the center line as his side prepares to take on Manchester United on July 25th in Shanghai. And here is a complete calendar for the kickoff dates of Europe's top 5 leagues. With that, we conclude today's show. Make sure to catch up with more sports updates and news on our website and our social media outlets. From myself and the team, it's bye-bye for now.